Hey guys, this is the second video I'm going to make to help with your solo training during the quarantine. This time we're going to be looking at the next level of primal movement and mobility drills that we do in IMA. We're going to start to transition it into more walking and jumping movements, okay? The first move we're going to do now is the inchworm. For that, I want to stand and try to touch my toes. Now, if you can't touch your toes, that's okay. You just need to find where your flexibility will allow you to put your hands on the ground. All right, but you want to get as close to your feet as possible. So when I do my inchworm, I'm going to start in this position and I want to walk out. And I'm letting my weight go forward. So eventually, I should get to a good push-up position with my hands are underneath my shoulders, right? Don't walk yourself this way. You're not doing downward dog. You want to get here. At this point, I'm going to walk my feet forward, keeping my shoulders over my hands, really getting those hamstrings stretched out and using my core to kind of help suck things in. So if you find that movement easy, what I like to have people do is then kind of transition to a Superman, which is what most people will do naturally, whether they should or shouldn't. But that looks like this. Right here, I'm gonna walk out, and then from this position, once you've gone into a good push-up position, then let your hands get out in front of your shoulders a little bit and see how far out you can go. But then you're walking your feet back. There you go. Okay, our next move is going to be the bear crawl. So we just use the inchworm to help work bringing those hands and those feet together and crunch the body together. So now we're going to use that to maintain this position where I am kind of on my hands and knees, but what I want to do is I want to then pick my knees up and keep them there. I want my lower leg to be parallel with the ground the whole time, and when I move, I want my knees to track inside the shoulder corridor, all right? So when you do this stuff, it's not supposed to be like HIIT training. You're going for technique over reps. If you have good technique, then sure, you can bump up the intensity by going faster, that's fine. But don't sacrifice your technique for speed. So how that should look is, we're still focusing on contralateral movement. When my right hand goes forward, my left foot goes forward too. But I'm keeping this position where my knees track inside the shoulder corridor and don't go down or don't go up. They're not going anywhere weird, right? But I just want to really maintain this position right here. All right. So the fun variation on this is a sideways bear crawl. That's going to look like this. In this case, when my feet are spread apart, my hands are going to be close together, and vice versa, right? So I'll be here. I'm still moving left hand, right foot, but I'm moving on a different plane. All right, that's bear crawl and sideways bear crawl. Our next move is the frog hop. The fundamental position for this to really work on is you want to think of a good squat. So I want to have my heels on the ground and I want my back to be straight and arched. Keep a sideways view. So when I'm doing this, I don't want to curl forward. So if you don't have the flexibility to go this far down, that's okay, don't stress it. You can be up here, that's all right. The main thing is that you have good structure, good posture. Now, we'll make the next part easier if you can get low. So for my frog hop, I'm just going to put my hands out in front of me. I'm not hyperextending, keeping some, flexibility in the arms, some shock absorbance, and I'm just going to tilt forward, catch myself, and then rotate through the shoulders, and come back up. This is my neutral position, so I always want to go back to this position. So don't get lazy when you do this. So if I do a couple of these, it should look like this. Just like with the bear crawl, the fun variation is a sideways version. So with the sideways frog hop, we're going to work on rotation of the core, right? Before, you're using your core, hopefully, to maintain your posture. In this case, we're going to use it to reach out, all right? So for this, it's okay if your trailing foot comes up a little bit, or if your lead foot comes up a little bit. You will break that plane, that's okay. Just make sure you return to it, right? So I'm gonna go over, hop back to neutral. And if I break my spine line, I wanna come back to this. So even if you can't maintain perfect posture the whole time, that's okay. The important thing is that you get used to going back to the correct posture. So showing how that looks, do a couple reps from here. I like to start people where I'm just putting my hands around my lead leg and hopping to neutral. Very small movement. If you can do that, then we'll reach out some more. Hop to neutral. And then if you can do that, we'll actually pass through neutral and slide into it with our legs. Okay? That's frog hop. For our next move, we're finally going to start to stand up. So for this, called the crane walk, you can start off by finding something you can put your hand on so you can maintain balance. We're going to really be working those stability muscles in your ankles. A lot of people feel it there first because they're just not used to being on one foot for very long. But when I do this, again, I'm not trying to go for reps and I'm not trying to go fast. If you do it fast, you're actually going to miss the whole point of this movement. But standing on one foot, and bring my knee up, keeping my hips squared with the front. I'm going to use my glute muscle to push my heel back, right? You should push back as far as you can, but don't rotate your hips out. All right, keep them squared up. However far back you can go is how far back you can go. Bring it back up to that position, extend out nice and slow, and then put it down and step. Other than building just balance and strengthening those stability muscles in your leg, this is a great way to find out where your active flexibility will allow you to kick, right? So lots of people can kick really high when they're just throwing their foot up in the air, but how high can you kick when you have to go slow, right? That's part of why I make everyone do this one very slowly. Turns out a lot of people can't kick people in the head once you do that. Again, so if I don't have something to grab onto, if I'm pretty decent at this, I'm just going to bring my knee up, back, up, kick, step, and then go to the other side. Some of the cheats you'll naturally do when you go to kick is curl your back so that your hips have a little more flexibility. Watch out for that. Yeah. That's crane walk. For our next move, we're going to start to get into some explosive movement, get some jumping. This is a move called the gorilla jump. You've probably seen it also called a swing jump. So our starting position for this is a good squat. Again, just like with the frog jump, if you can't squat super low, that's okay. The main thing is weight is in your heels and you have good posture and you're not leaning over like this too much, okay? So I'm here, hands are forward. When I jump, I'm gonna shoot my hips forward, shoot my arms back, and then land like this again. Your goal should be to land as soft as possible, because if you land too hard, you don't want to build up that pattern and put wear and tear on your body. So the softer you can jump, the safer this move will be for you. All right, so it looks like this. One more time from the other side. All right, that's gorilla jump. Okay, our final move is the traditional ninja jump. So there's a couple ways you can do this. If you really want to do it the traditional style, I'm going to jump and try to fold my legs up like this. Okay, that looks like this. You'll notice when I land, I still land in a decent squat position. I want to try to alleviate any pressure that could be going on in my knees. And I'm squatting, weights in my heels, using my glutes. If that is too difficult, you can just do a simple knee to chest jump. All right, just work getting those knees up and landing solid but softly. One more time, looks like this. So don't be afraid to let yourself land in a lower position to keep cushioning the jump landing when you do it. All right, that's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope it was really helpful. Till next time.